Chapter 10, Growing Pains. Okay. How's everyone's cell phone service this morning? That's weird. What's up? I roll over in bed and squint at the time. Oh good, I have time to shower before practice. None of my texts will send. I can't get a signal. Thank you, Susie, for informing me so quickly about what the warden was doing. The signal's always been spotty here. I'm sure it'll pop back on in a little while. Now the question is Wiley in on it, or is the warden doing this by himself? I force myself to get out of bed and start my day. So you cleared things up with Leon? Yep. Now if only I could clear things up with Felicity. Would you like a pet unicorn while you're at it? Just as we arrive at the field, I am confronted by Marion and Sabrina. About time. Good morning to you too, Marion. Is something wrong? It's really not a big deal.
Jerk.
Peter Dong's little brother is being a pain. He's going around flirting with all of the upperclassmen girls. Interesting, so that side story bit is still happening in this route. So does that mean we were seeing the final route early from Alex's perspective? It's just that we didn't see Leon because Alex doesn't care about Leon? Like brother, well, brother. Oh, brother. Typical Alex. Is he really that bad? Yes. Can't you do something about it? You're the drum major. It's your unspoken job to deal with the interpersonal relationships of the band members. Since when? Yeah, so maybe tell him to stop being a little creep. Exactly. That's why they picked you over Clark, Cadence. He could never handle the emotional responsibility. I mean, she's not wrong. Okay. I'll make a mental note to speak with him about it.
Thank you.
To be honest, kinda low priority at the moment. Alright everyone, let's set up for stretches. I noticed Mr. Wiley is running late once more, but I'm not going to make the same mistake twice. Arm circles! Make them as big as you can! Roll those shoulders. Oh yeah! I spot Mr. Wiley in the distance, making his way towards the field, but he seems to be moving very slowly. Morning coffee has yet to kick in, perhaps? I don't like it. Okay, now itty-bitty baby arm circles. As small as you can. There we go. I never tire of our silly warm-ups. By the time Mr. Wiley reaches the field, we're wrapping up with our massage train. He trudges slowly through our ranks, and I walk forward to greet him. Oh, you look like death. Good morning, Mr. Wiley? Are you okay? Set up for a final run.
Great!
Sweet! Practice is over! Shut up! Mr. Wiley is clearly ill.
Sir.
Are you okay?
Oh, dear. Well, that is really not good. Without warning, Mr. Wiley suddenly pitches forward and collapses in a heap on the ground. Members of the band scream dramatically. Is he dead? Rabies! He's not dead! Mr. Wiley! Since I'm the nearest, I get to him first. I try to help Mr. Wiley into a sitting position and notice that his skin is slick with sweat. I press a hand to his forehead. He's burning up! Let me through! The crowd of bandits parts like the Red Sea for their president. I instantly feel calmer when Garth crouches by my side.
Oh my.
Looks like he's got a fever. He's shivering.
Garth is right. Despite the heat radiating off Mr. Wiley's body, he appears chilly. Poor Mr. Wiley.
He's in no condition to lead practice. Band is cancelled?
No! Mr. Wiley utters a yelp, then begins mumbling under his breath. Not yet. I won't let it. I won't let it! Shoot, we've got to get him out of here. Mr. Wiley, you need to rest. Let's get you back to your room. Sir?
I'm sorry I put drugs in the bass drum.
The entire band gasps.
Huh?
It wasn't me!
Congratulations, Doug.
Of course it wasn't you, idiot. Why would you even ask that?
So, when you say drugs, do you mean like drugs or anti-anxiety medication that you're supposed to be on? And is that... Okay, regardless of which drugs it is that why he, like, loses it a lot more on Doug's route? Because, like, the drugs are gone in the drum? Is that what happened? I have questions.
I don't know, everyone kept saying Doug put drugs in the bass drum so often that I started to think maybe I did and forgot. I gaslit myself.
Hey, can I get some help here?
Oh, sorry.
Garth and I each get under Mr. Wiley's arms and struggle to hoist him to his feet. Doug swoops in and immediately takes the pressure off me. Leon also steps in for Garth, who I address next. Would you stay here with the band, Garth? I want to make sure Mr. Wiley is okay. I'll carry his things back.
Very well.
Of course. I pick up Mr. Wiley's bag while my two muscular bandmates embark on the long trek to Mr. Wiley's cottage. Nice to have a couple of strong gents around. How is he holding up?
He keeps mumbling something about band being cancelled.
Ah! Quick, think of a distraction! Weird! What Tom said must have gotten to him. Hey, what kind of bird is that?
Whoa.
A red robin. It's a northern cardinal. There's no such thing as a red robin.
Huh?
But I eat there all the time. Was it all a dream?
Doug is going to start gaslighting himself again if I'm not careful. At least I successfully changed the subject. Sure. We managed to help Mr. Wiley onto his bed. He's totally unresponsive except for periodical shivering. Doug is thoughtful enough to remove his glasses for him and set them on a bedside table. Nice, Doug. I'm going to try and set him up with some medicine, or at least a glass of water. You two can head back to practice. Thanks for all your help.
We're still having practice?
Yeah, I'll run it. Let everyone know, we still gotta learn Jupiter. Both boys look impressed with me.
Will do.
See you in a bit.
I pour Mr. Wiley a tall glass of water so he can stay hydrated. I leave a sports drink next to his bed, too, for some extra electrolytes. Next, I wet a washcloth and put it on his head to cool him off. He stirs a little bit when I do. Mr. Wiley, can you hear me? How about taking some medicine? I'm sure you'll feel better. No response. He's out cold. Dang, he really got sick. I find some medicine in the bathroom cabinet and leave it next to his bed. I sure as heck never expected that I would be caring for my feverish band director in the middle of band camp. I'm gonna head back to practice now. Feel better soon.
Don't go.
Mr. Wiley?
Winnie.
Huh? It's me, sir. It's Cadence.
He's hallucinating from the fever.
But Mr. Wiley's eyes are glazed and staring past me at the doorway. Of course, there's no one there. He's not looking good at all. What should I do? He might be seeing Rebecca. Potentially. Because, like, Pop-Tart could see his mom and Cadence couldn't some of the time. When Rebecca was pretending to be Pop-Tart's mom. She could be pretending to be Winnie right now. If there's ghost shenanigans afoot, I might not want to leave this guy's side. I'll protect you from the ghosts, sir. I'm scared, though, because this could also have repercussions of, like, I don't go back to practice, and the band falls behind on learning things. But I sense ghost shenanigans. Instead of leaving, I pull up a chair. Okay, I'll stay a little longer, but you have to get better. Back in memory land.
Looks like I have everything.
Bang!
What the?
Just what do you think you're doing?
Victor? How did you get in the building?
Why are you leaving? You finally did it. You beat me and got our dream job. You are the band director of Blue Mountain High School, your alma mater. So why are you quitting after only 1 year?
Trust me.
It's more like a nightmare than a dream. The music program isn't appreciated at this school. The school board has zero respect for what we do. Just look at how old some of these instruments are, Victor. And they're still wearing the same damn uniforms that they had when you and I were in band. This past year I had to fight tooth and nail for everything, and yet I achieved nothing.
So you decide to turn tail and run rather than continue the fight?
Easy for you to say. Your beloved marching band? It costs too much money to maintain, more than any other arts program at this school. It will never make it. I give it 5 years tops.
I thought I knew you, Winnie. I thought you'd stop at nothing to achieve victory. I guess I was wrong.
I owe nothing to this school. They have disappointed me for the last time. I received a better offer elsewhere, so I've chosen to pursue that.
I heard. You'll be directing the low-life pooper scoopers in Virginia.
You are still such a child. I left all of those silly high school rivalries behind me long ago, along with the dream of being the band director of a rundown school like this.
What about the kids, Winnie? How can you quit on these kids? How can you leave them behind so easily after a year of leading them, building bonds, making memories? You're only thinking of yourself. It's selfish, that's what it is.
Selfish. Men seem to be throwing that word at me a lot lately.
Huh?
My ex-husband called me selfish too.
I'm sorry.
Sometimes, Victor, you've got to be a little selfish. You've got to put yourself first and treat yourself with care. Something you could stand to do more of. We only get one life. We've got to make it the best that we can.
And, to be quite honest with you, there are just too many memories here. I want to leave it all far behind me.
Trust me.
Do yourself a favor and don't bother applying for my position. Find a school that treats music like the beautiful gem that it is. Find a job that will make you happy.
This is that job.
Victor...
I'm going to save this band.
Don't try to jump the gun. First things first, you gotta land my job.
Maybe you can put in a good word for me?
Good luck.
Maybe, if I'm in a good mood.
You're as insufferable as ever. I'm leaving.
Hold it right there, mister. You're not walking out of my life without a hug.
Who says I'm walking out of it? I'll see you at next year's championships, where the Blue Mountain Bandits are going to place first!
That man never changes.
Aw. They're so cute together. Also, we should take this guy's hat off so you can rest a little easier. Mr. Wiley, you're awake!
My head is killing me. My vision's all blurry.
That's because you're not wearing your glasses. Now let's get some drugs in you.
What?
His eyes are like, whoa. I offer Mr. Wiley some medicine and water to gulp it down with. He manages to sit up and take it, but he still looks pretty worse for wear. There is a sheen of sweat that covers his skin. I sure hope you're not contagious.
Doubt it. I have a feeling this is stress-induced. Anyways, we'd better get back to practice.
He makes as if to get out of bed, and I shove him back down. No, you're taking the day off. You've got to treat yourself with more care, sir. Ooh, she got him with that Winnieism. My words seem to have an effect. Mr. Wiley settles against his pillow, breathing shallowly. For a few seconds, no words pass between us. Then I decide that Mr. Wiley and I have been honest with each other so far, so I might as well voice what's bothering me. Did you really put drugs in the bass drum?
What?
Who told you?
You did, when you were delirious. He rubs his forehead, grimacing. Why'd you do it?
To get Mr. Savage fired.
Oh. Interesting. Right, because you didn't get the job right after Winnie. Mr. Savage did.
Don't look at me like that. It wasn't merely because I wanted his job. He never went to any of the band booster fundraisers.
That's no reason to...
Let me finish. Of course, I went to all of the fundraisers to support my old band, and I struck up a rapport with Mr. St. Clair, the band booster president.
Right. Felicity's father.
I didn't like Savage. He was hired over me because he had more experience working with high school bands. I looked into his credentials, more than Blue Mountain did, I bet, and saw that he moved around a lot between schools. I saw it as a lack of loyalty. Left a bad taste in my mouth. But hey, maybe that meant he would be moving on soon enough and I could give the job another whack. Then, at a bake sale, when I was mouthing off about this guy, Mr. St. Clair mentioned he didn't like him either. And it wasn't because he never showed up to band booster fundraisers. He was concerned Savage was getting too friendly with the female students. He'd taken a few of the girls out for Italian ice the other day, Felicity being one of them, and Mr. St. Clair was livid. He took it up with the principal, but that went nowhere. Savage must have said something in his own defense, probably likened it to coaches taking their teams out for ice cream after a win. Or maybe he pled ignorance. Who knows? Suddenly, his tendency to jump between schools made more sense. Perhaps this has happened before. No, I'm almost certain of it. Perhaps there wasn't enough evidence against him. Or they didn't believe the victims. Whatever it was, it got shoved under the rug and he could keep applying to other schools. Unacceptable. Mr. St. Clair feared it was only a matter of time until something happened, and took it upon himself to watch that man like a hawk. He came early to every practice and would sit in his car watching.
You know what? Shout out to Mr. St. Clair, though.
I didn't think that was enough. I thought, this man has got to be stopped. And I have to stop him.
So that's why you tried to frame him for having drugs on the school property.
I had to do something! No one ever listens until it's too late! I did it during an indoor drumline competition, when everyone was at the award ceremony. But like the worm he is, he wiggled out of that one too. Then, not long after that, here came the sexual assault allegations.
Please, don't tell me he...
I pray to God it didn't escalate that far. It took place after school hours. The victim was taking private lessons from him, I heard.
She was?
I should have tried harder.
Please, don't blame yourself. It was out of your control.
You kids. You kids deserve a band director who doesn't die on you and doesn't abandon you or isn't a child molester. This band needs me, and I'm going to save it.
Okay, so Mr. Knowles died. I was wondering, because it wasn't entirely clear from when we did Tom's Rate what happened to Mr. Knowles. So he died, didn't retire. Winnie left, abandoned, for a better opportunity, and then Mr. Savage was the worst. He's starting to shake again. I briefly rest a hand on his shoulder. Then you need to take care of yourself, Mr. Wiley. Saving the band isn't going to be easy. We need you in full form. So for now, rest. His shaking subsides and his eyes flutter shut. Good. I leave as quietly as I can, turning off the light as I go. Good night, Mr. Wiley. Well, that was certainly enlightening in more ways than one. Some dark stuff happening in band. It's almost noon when I return to the field. And to my complete and utter surprise, the band is still on it, practicing their sets. Good job, everyone. I spot Garth standing on my podium, surveying the marching band as though it is his kingdom. At the same moment, he spots me, gives a friendly wave, and climbs down to meet me. You ran practice?
Indeed.
Someone had to.
Wow! You're amazing, Garth. That's our band president.
How is Mr. Wiley?
He's pretty feverish, but he'll live. I made him take the day off.
Good. Well, I believe that you and I are certainly capable of running the practices in his place.
Definitely. I look proudly upon the band as they mark their sets. Among them, I see Leon helping Pop-Tart out, being super patient with him as they look for his dot together. My heart grows warm. Yay!
Okay, band. Let's run through everything we learned this morning and then break for lunch.
The band lets out a cheer. They run through the new sets of Jupiter. It's a hot mess, but it's our hot mess. Great job, everyone. Hey, let's say we meet back here for full afternoon music rehearsal. It's cool today, and there's plenty of cloud cover. That way the pit and the guard can join us too. Plus, I feel I can keep better control of the band if they're arced up across the field and I'm on my podium, rather than in that cramped band room.
Well, well.
Excellent idea, Cadence.
No objections here.
Let's do this.
Awesome! See you soon. A number of my friends approach upon packing up, wondering how Mr. Wiley is doing, but I tell them he's fine and will be back tomorrow. At least, I certainly hope so.
Hey, I wanted to apologize for taking up your time last night.
Huh? Why? I had fun.
Well, I mentioned it to Felicity. Actually, she kind of forced it out of me.
Uh-huh.
She said we shouldn't hang out since it would probably upset your boyfriend. So I feel kind of bad about it now.
Leon, I came to you last night, and I told you that Felicity told you a lie. Why would you believe anything she says about me going forward? Huh? Just explain to me why in God's green earth you would believe anything that Snake has to say about me. At all!
I'm sorry.
You need to escape. Escape. Just draw, I don't know, a ring of salt around you so the demon known as Felicity can't get to you. I don't know. Something.
I had no idea you were in a relationship.
Who am I in a relationship with? She's lying to you again, Leon. I'm not in a relationship with anyone.
Jeez. I sure am gullible.
What?
Suddenly, there's a ruckus from a few yard lines away.
How dare you!
You're blushing, though, Clark. You're not completely opposed to it. Interesting. You picked Clark, of all people, for me to be in a relationship with. Surprised you didn't pick Tom.
Cadence and I are not in a relationship. Who told you that?
I heard it from Felicity. For frick's sake, Susie, why would you believe Felicity? Why Felicity? What? I'm gonna lose my mind.
Well,
Let me set the record straight. I would never, ever go for Cadence.
I don't know, you doth protest too much. Dang, Garth! Garth, I have a question. Why do you not like Clark? Do you not like Clark, or are you just like, yo, Cadence is too good for all y'all's butts, alright? Because he's right. You should be so lucky.
excuse me?
You heard me. He glares at Susie.
So there is no need to threaten me.
Susie, why are you threatening a potential suitor of mine? Aw, fine. Felicity's been telling everyone I'm in a secret relationship with Clark? Could she have picked a worse candidate?
Damn.
She should have picked me. I would have let that rumor ride until you started gaslighting yourself a la Doug style and believed it was true.
Peter, you've lowered yourself in my estimations again. Please stop. The bar can only go so low. I roll my eyes. I'm not even gonna flatter you with a response.
Doesn't this count as one?
Before I can summon further snark, someone shoves past me quite suddenly. Ouch! Felicity doesn't give me a second glance as she barrels past, but I got the message. That was rude.
What did you do to her?
Nothing.
I'm sorry.
It is not your fault. Your only fault is believing that witch, okay? Just stop giving her the time of day, which is kind of hard for you because she's in charge of your section. But outside of that, just dump her in the lake. Stop apologizing. You have nothing to apologize for.
I'm sorry.
Ugh, I can't stop!
Ugh, I better get to lunch.